All right. Well, hey guys. Hey guys. My microphone goes right there, nice and comfy. Cool. So we got ourselves another week, more content to look at. It's gonna be lots of fun. Now I was kind of on the fence about even doing the video tonight. Transparency, I haven't really been feeling that hot the last few days. Been feeling kind of not great. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to complete the entire video tonight. I will do my best. But if I need to bow out early, apologies in advance. When you get sick, you get sick. What can you do? Anyways, let's get cracking on the content. Yeah, we'll do what we normally do. We'll go through the welfare. We'll take a look at the event shop. Then we'll look at the gacha, blueprints, Twitter, all that fun stuff. So anyways, let's get cracking on our welfare this week, which was, that was the Spallo, wasn't it? That was this week's thing? Yeah, the H1 Spallo. Oh, we'll start off with the head. Infighter job, EX skill damage. It's a flat number boost, meaning the actual, it's not going to be that great. Flat damage numbers like this, so far in the 2 years this game's been out, we've found exactly one time it's been useful. One. So, high mobility and pro tag. That's actually not too bad. That's a very interesting combination. Opens the door for some interesting stuff. Lots of good traits that can be activated with those. So, yeah. Numerically, it's got good defensive values. I'll give it that for a welfare. We break, what? That's 1100 shot attack, and we're pushing about 800, 900 melee. For a welfare head, the shot attack is very low. But if you look at it in the vein of it's actually more of a melee head than a shot head, it's actually pretty good. Do keep in mind that welfare heads, if they are made for shot machines, do push 2.4k on the higher end, sometimes a little higher even. So seeing this, not too bad. When will Xant see chat game? Whenever he damn well pleases. I gotta look over all this stuff first. Oh no, you guys can't see it. And don't mind me. Hold on a sec here, guys. Today's been a day. Let me just put it like that. I've been running around. Okay, so before I get back into this, I'll go back and look at the head with you guys in a sec. So, after work finished today, I had to run out to a computer shop. Now, some of you are in my Discord, and you may or may not have seen what I was talking about. There are a couple of Gundam-themed motherboards on the shelves at my local shop. It's part of a thing by Asus that they're doing where they have a whole bunch of Gundam-themed content that they're putting out. Here, let me just grab this real quick and throw it up on stream. It'll be kind of small res because I don't feel like fully blowing them up and throwing them in. Let's see. You guys may already know what I'm talking about, but yeah, so I've been playing around with the idea of doing a giveaway with them, but it's really expensive to do, just kind of for a casual giveaway. And with that in mind, yeah. Hey, I told you to show, dang it. Anyways, so that's what's on the shelf at my local store. We have a Zaku-themed motherboard on the top, and then a Federation Gundam-based one on the bottom. But anyways, yeah, so I've been running out to Canada Computers the last couple of days to kind of get an idea on the prices, how rare they are, all these little things with them, because I'm kind of bouncing the idea around of doing a giveaway, but that's still to be determined. And because of that, and there's so much construction going on the roads between here and there, I have to take a 40-minute detour. So most of my day's been spent running around. So yeah. Long and short, I'm just kind of more than normal. I'm not all here today. Anyways, back to what we were supposed to be doing before I snafu'd and covered my screen. Okay, so back to the Spallow head. So anyways, as I was showing with the trait, it's a flat damage boost. Not going to be that useful. Has high mobility and pro tag, which is pretty useful. Lots of trait activations there. And the stats for melee welfare are actually pretty good. Obviously not that great for a shot, but this ain't a shot machine. Let's be real. Come on, guys. Yeah. So torso. With technique attribute, enemy EX skill power reduced by 25%. Pretty straightforward. Do keep in mind that this does only affect whatever suit that it's on, not your entire squad, unless it's cleanly stated. So, yeah, mileage may vary on how good this is for you. High mobility pro tag again. Numerically, I do remember that torsos, legs, and backpacks typically have a much lower stat ceiling than all the other frame parts. So with that in mind, what are we looking at? About 1,000 melee attack on a welfare torso. Hot damn. And we're looking at about 700 or so shot attack. Numerically, that's not really that bad. Okay. I don't like the trait too much, but the tags and the stats for a welfare are pretty good. Nothing jaw-dropping. Just pretty good. With Saber category, equipped melee crit rate boosted by 17%. I'll always keep saying this unless they really change how things work. Making your damage rely on RNG on top of all the other RNG that already exists in this game, I don't think it's the best idea. You do whatever build suits you best, but yeah, not for me. Ooh, okay, so we actually see a lot of melee attack on the arms. We get about a 500 point carryover, so this has 3,400 melee attack. That's really interesting because that really pushes the limits for what we've seen for welfare arms so far numerically. So that's really dope. It has no resistances at all, however, so it's not going to be that great, obviously, in the defensive categories. But if you're looking for just raw damage for a welfare, 100% crit rate can be done. Yeah, sure, but then you're committing so much to the crit rate when you could have been pumping up other stats, like your total EX skill damage, your cooldown. Right? Sure, you can do anything. You could have 0 seconds cooldown. Cool. Now you just, need the EX skills to leverage that. You could go for 100% all damage reduction. Awesome. How are you going to hurt them? So taking it to the logical extreme is always possible. Is it worth it? I don't think crit rate is. That's pretty much it. So we toss the pro tag and get 4 space. I'm not a big fan of the 4 tag series. I just find that they don't really have that much bang for their buck. Even with the rebalance, still not that great in my opinion. But again, each their own there. So numerically, okay. Trait, not the biggest fan of. Tags, okay. 100% Unga Bunga is cooler. Hey, just keep stacking your EX skill damage, man. Problem solved. Needle Gun, B+, non-cutscene. And you lower the enemy's melee attack too. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say this is, I guess a stock standard B+ non-cutscene EX. Now, do keep in mind, just because it is B+ doesn't always mean it'll do really good damage. That's because we do have a couple of exceptions. Do try them out. Should be fine though. It's a welfare. You can get it maxed out pretty easily. Okay, numerically, what are we looking at here? So pretty much 1,000 melee, 1,000 shot. Honestly, for a pair of welfare legs, I guess that's pretty damn good. High mobility, 4 space again. Alright, I'd say those legs are pretty okay. But yeah, for a welfare, yeah, we cook them with fire. When armor is 60% or more, Vernier recovery boosted. I've never really seen much of a use for this whole Vernier stuff, whether it's you get unlimited Vernier, whether it's, more Vernier or recovery rate boost, whatever. Don't really find it that useful. Again, each their own. You do you. Maybe your build uses a bunch of Vernier because you can't stop boosting everywhere. Who the heck knows? but in my experience, it's not been the most useful thing in the world. Numerically, we're looking at about 1100 melee attack and about 700, 800 shot. For a backpack, which typically has a much lower stat ceiling, nice. High mobility and force base again. All right, workable. And the sword, Shiguru blade. Ho. I'm gonna blame that Shigeru on me watching the Nintendo announcement earlier. My brain's just like Shigeru Miyamoto going on. I don't know if you guys saw the Switch OLED announcement or not. It's definitely a side grade. Can't wait to see what they do just with the like the Switch Pro or 2.0 or whatever. That'll be interesting. Inviter job gauge increase boosted by 13%. I don't find that job gauge increase or job gauges in general still really do anything great. They're like a little bonus, but I think you could do much better than just boosting your job gauge. Again, each their own. Some people really like what they do, what they bring to the table, and hey, power to you. I'm not one of those people. High mobility pro tag. So we get our pro tag back. Ha ha ha. All right. Numerically, it's a welfare weapon. It's not great. It's not bad. Like, surprisingly, almost all the welfare weapons are more or less the exact same, which I find really weird considering the frame parts can always like be so varied and unique. Don't OLED consume more power? Unless I'm mistaken, OLED's the one that can have true black, so it actually uses less power. I'm pretty sure it's OLED's. The entire point of those, if I'm thinking about the right one, once the color value goes to 0, it actually disables that pixel on your screen, so it doesn't use any juice. So, yeah. That's pretty good. It's a really good power saver. Lots of apps, at least on Android, I've noticed on Android at least, a lot of my apps support OLED mode, which means it's a black theme, but it disables a ton of your screen so that you're not draining a bunch of power you don't have to. Oh, that's cool. People got questions. All right. Let's take a look at what's in our shop. We got Technique tags. Cool. Or chips. Pro tag, Xeon, mid-range, 4 space, and 4 computers. All right. That's an interesting grab bag. Okay. So, let's go look at our gacha. We only have one today, thankfully, the Toad's Ritter. Is it the Hades version? Let's find out. Oh, it definitely got Hades in it. I'm going to assume yes. All right. So we got another Hades system suit. Hades is your bog standard awakening. You got a speed boost, a melee attack boost, and a shot attack boost. I always find it a shame when they go to boost more than one stat, because then you kind of get a watered down version. But as this is not a limited suit, do remember that after 4 weeks have passed, you can use pick tickets to just grab whatever parts you want out of the shop in any bulk. Yes, it does look really cool. I agree. Just keep in mind that unless you really need the event multiplier this week, or you really like the suit, I would just sit on your pick tickets. We are very close to the anniversary. It's inching ever so closer. And the last thing you want to do is go and, run out of Haro for it. Actually. Yeah. No? Yeah. When did the game come out? It was mid-July, right? I can't even remember anymore. Oh no. Anyways, save your Haro. High firepower for space. Okay, so high firepower is a very flexible tag. It's good for melee, good for shot. Not the best, but gives you 5% attack boost. It's pretty great. And it is a good trigger, or it's a trigger for a bunch of good traits. I'll put it like that. So it has its uses. For space, if I talked about you, get out of here. Numerically, what are we looking at? 5100 shot attack. That's actually really not bad, honestly, for a non-limited part. It's good numbers. Not the best, obviously, not limited, but pretty good, frankly. And the Hades buff is a very comprehensive, all-around thing for the suit. It does give you the 29% shot attack boost, which is, I guess, now the 4th highest, because our highest is up at 59%. Yeah, it's 59%, then 4%. So 59, 54, 49, 39, 29, 19. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a good head. Torso, machine cannon. A depowered magazine. Go away. High firepower, force space again. Numerically. Alright, we're getting some real numbers pushing up in here. We're looking at about 1900 shot attack. We're looking at about 1200, 1250 melee attack. For a torso, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Non-limited torso. I don't like the EX skill at all, but that's what sub-slots are for. Alright, arms. Sub-arm deployment. Unleash a... okay. So due to the cooldowns on this looks to be an animation lock EX skill, meaning its usefulness is purely tied into the animation. Is it a long animation? Short animation? Is it a pseudo cutscene? Is it not? What's its range? And all that fun stuff. If the frames are good, awesome. If they're bad, you're just asking to get punished. So it'll really depend on that. We'll take a look when we look at the Twitter videos. Numerically, okay, for a standard part, that is a lot of shot attack. We're pretty much breaking 2k shot attack on that, and just over 4100 melee. Okay. I got no complaints about those arms, really, other than the EX skill potentially being meh. Numerically, though, pretty good. Legs. When buff, shooting damage output boost and have flat numbers. Go away. It's a shame, too. Those legs look pretty dope. Numerically, alright, so we're looking at about 1800 shot attack and about 800 melee. For a non-limited pair of legs, that's dope. High firepower ace exclusive. That's actually a really good pair of legs. That's actually a really good pair of legs. I might grab a couple copy of those when it hits the exchange shop. Incom. A plus D power. Go away. Yeah, it's even a funnel skill. It's ridiculous. Another ace exclusive high firepower. Insane amounts of shot attack on this. 2100. This thing has so much shot attack packed into it, and it has no real way to leverage it with any good EX skills. All of its shot EX skills are D. What the heck? Beam Saber. Enemy melee power reduced. I've already talked about kind of what that's all about. Numerically, it's an okay Beam Saber. It's not really that great. High firepower, force space. At least has the high firepower tag on it if you need that on a weapon slot. Hyper Knuckle Blaster. You don't look much like a knuckle to me though, buddy. When buffed, shooting power boosted. Very straightforward, very to the point. Remember, it is extremely easy to get a buff in this game now, whether that's Awakening, any of the skills, the Alpha, Beta, Gammas. Dime a dozen at this point. High firepower, ace exclusive, awesome. Ooh, we actually break 10k on a non-Sokai weapon. Wow, I'm impressed. And terrified, because if this is the new standard for non-Sokai suits, we're in real trouble. Mega Particle Cannon, more D power. Again, this has so much shot power and no way to funnel it at something. That's cruel. Lots of defense on this, translated over, it's about 1800 shot attack, about 500 melee. High firepower, ace exclusive. I got no complaints. Like, honestly, the Toads Ritter has a crazy high amount of shot attack. Brings a lot to the table in terms of just like numbers alone. Has a really interesting set of tags, but really lackluster EX skill pool. The traits are okay. Yeah, you just dropped a ton of shot attack into this. A ton of really good tags for shot, and then said, yeah, now all your shot stuff is D power. Pow! Shoot you in the foot. Interesting choices. Okay. Alright, that's out of the way. Let's look at our pilots for this week. We have Chap Adele. All ranged weapon magazine boosted by 14%. Oh. It's not really worth a pilot slot for that. Long shooter, numerically nothing to write home about. Federation GM, at least the tags are pretty, I'm not going to say great. They're good. They're not the most common thing, so they may be really nice for like a pinch slotting in to finish something off. But as a main pilot, not really feeling it. And Patrick Colasur, Space Cockroach, 2nd season. With speed attribute, all flat damage. Wow, good job, Patrick. You're fucking useless. Okay, numerically, 2100 melee attack, acceptable 800 shot attack. Hey, you're like a 3-star, mid-range mass production. No, as an outfighter too? He exists. He exists. Okay. Well, let's go take a look at what our event suits are for this week here. Ooh. Okay. So, right, the Seltsum. We got to look at that too. I'll do that in a moment. So we get the Death Scythe. We get the Barbados. And this is the different attributed one. Did it have anything good? I think it was just the Elia Vignana. Yeah, just the Elia Vignana. I don't think anything else is really that interesting here. The Versago, Death Scythe. Alright, and our 3 bringbacks are the Gaia, the Kabakali, and the Arch. I think the Arch had a really interesting trait. Was it on the backpack? Yeah, while close combat, melee power boosted. The backpack looks a little silly, but it has a solid trait, all things considered. Yeah. Oh, was this the one that had the Yeet backpack, the Barbados? Really? Oh, so it does. There you go. You get a B+ Yeet skill for free. 10 out of 10. Gaia rifle. I don't remember anything about these. EX skill power. Oh yeah, it's another pretty solid little pinch trait right here. Good call. Really easy to activate speed attribute, and the EX skill power boost is always nice. Plus it has the transformer tag as well, which does a lot. Yeah, and the Arch does have a good amount of funnels on the legs. You are right on that. Yeah. Although I would say out of all of the, like, the 3 suits that are coming back, I'd probably go for the Gaia gun if you had to pick like one thing to get, because the EX skill power boost is effective for everything, whether it's melee or shot, and it's a gun slot, which typically doesn't have the best options unless you have like one of the really good parts. But 25% EX skill power boost for having a speed attributed suit, it's pretty good. Okay. Now then, oh right, I need to look at the Seltsum first, and then we'll go look at the Twitter videos and alterations. Alright, let's see what we got. Event blueprints. Seltsum. It's like taking a swig of seltzer. Well, high fire. Okay. So, something to keep in mind here when you're looking at something that recovers armor gradually. For example, this recovers 20 armor. This part alone has 1,833 armor. It's going to take you a very long time to get this. It's like 90-something seconds for just this part alone to get its armor value refunded. And that doesn't count parts like the torso or the shield, which typically have a much higher armor value. So just keep that in mind. That trait's not really going to go very far. High firepower, close combat. Very interesting. Both of these are what I classify as tertiary tags. So you have your primary tags for melee and shot, right? For shot, you have Ace Exclusive and Commander. Those are the 10% big boosts. For melee, you have Pro Tag and Mobile Fighter. Those give you the 10%. Tertiary tags are that third one that you kind of need to think of what to fill in, whether it gives you that 5% extra of your main stat, maybe defensive, or maybe you need it to activate traits on your suit. I'd say these are both good tertiary tags. Numerically, what? Okay. So just under 5k shot attack and about 1800 melee. All right. For a build project, that's actually kind of lackluster, frankly. Come on. There we go. With technique attribute, melee power boosted. Really easy to activate the technique attribute, and the melee power boost is pretty solid. Do keep in mind, now that we have the hanger available, you are able to get duplicates, air quote, of these parts now relatively easily, in comparison to having to make multiple build project copies. So as long as you're patient, you will be able to maximize the potential. Solid melee power boost with a rather easy trait activator, sure. Oh, wow, okay, the numbers on this torso are actually pretty spooky. So we're looking at about, what, that's 2500 melee attack and about, what, 2400 shot? For a torso, that is damn high. No complaints about the numbers here. Arms. The Seltsam arms, like that. Yo, did they just like clean rip off of Code Geass or something with that arm? I'm getting some major vibes here, man. Stir up a windstorm and skewer them with your Hyper Dest Lance. Isn't that... No, the arm cooked them alive. And then they added a pile driver onto it too, didn't they? Anyways, raise melee attack of your squad by 29% and raise shot defense of your squad. Okay, that's an okay boost. A power, so that's probably going to be S after it gets augmented, or alternated. Okay, numerically, what are we looking at here? So 2100-ish shot attack and about 5100 melee. Well, for a pair of arms, that's pretty solid numerically. It has very low resistances, but just, don't get hit. High firepower, close combat. I got no real complaints about this. It's got your cutscene EX, a small boost. I wish the boost was bigger, but take what you can get. We'll check what it gets upgraded to after alteration. The numbers aren't bad either. Alright, let's look at the legs. Infighter job, EX skill power boost. There's so many good infighter job pilots now, like so many of them. No problem getting this trait activated, and you get an EX skill power boost. That's great. High firepower for computers. Numerically. Alright. Okay, so we're looking at about 2200 melee attack and about, what, 1900 shot? For a pair of legs, that's really high. So, it's pretty good. I don't like the 4 computers tag, but what can you do? Alright, backpack, give us the wowzers. Shield binder, that's not a wowzer. Perform a powerful ranged attack. Look, I don't want to judge you, but when you tell me something is powerful and subsequently make the power D, I think you're lying. Hyper Dest Lance, Beam Vulcan, more D power. Man, they're really breaking the bank here. Numerically, that's actually a healthy amount of melee attack for the weapon and has a token amount of shot. High firepower, close combat, good tertiaries. Yeah, that's going to be a very numerically powerful lance once alternated. Folding Dest Launcher. Arm parts EX skill power boost by 30%. Now, this is interesting because we've actually seen a boon relatively recently of a lot of magazine EX skills on the arms. So maybe you want to think about this. Takes up your gun slot with a really crappy rocket launcher, but that's what custom skins are for. You get an EX power boost. I'd rather it be a generic EX skill power boost though, but, take what you can get. Okay, and numerically, It's got some juice behind it, about 300-ish or melee attack, good amount of shot on it. I can't wait to see what this looks like alternated. It's going to be spooky. Okay. So with all that out of the way, let's go take a look at the Twitter video for the Toads Ritter, and then we will pop on over to the alteration table where I'm going to hate my life. Man. Every week, I swear. Okay. Let's bring up the Twitter videos, turn off the desktop audio so I don't deafen everything that lives. All right. Let's see what we got. Well, it looks like second anniversary news is bopping about, so that'll be something else I'll have to check. Wait, hold on. Where's our Toads Ritter? Am I blind? Did I just miss it or something? No, I didn't. Have they not uploaded it yet? What? Have they just not uploaded the content yet? Really? Huh. Well, that's annoying. We're not going to be able to see what those ARM EX can do. Dang. Dang, dang, dang. Okay. Well, here's what it is, I guess, guys. Not much I can do. Okay. To the best part we go, I guess. The part you guys love. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Okay. In case anyone's wondering, Fisherman's Friend. Just give me a second to get this going. Can't believe it. Yeah, see, I wish I had remembered to get a drink. 1 cup, empty. 2 cups, empty. One of them had tea, one of them had water, and I've chugged them both. Also, something I can talk about while waiting. Let me for this lozenge and do its bit. So, a few weeks ago, quite a few weeks ago now, I ordered a new phone. I think I've talked about this a couple of times. One thing I'm very excited for is that this new phone supports USB-C to HDMI out, meaning I'm not going to have to do this janky connection and third-party software to get my screen going anymore. I'll be able to just natively throw it through my capture card. So I'm excited. It looks like daytime in my room. Yeah, I know. And if I turn off my light, look at that. And the camera quality goes down a bunch too. Then I turn it on and we're back to good, right? So the phone I currently use, it's a OnePlus 6. I picked this up quite a few years ago. It was really good timing. They were in the middle of doing a sale on it, and I was able to get a student discount at the same time. So I got it like, I think it was 40-something% off. So it was worth it, because at the time it was a flagship. So... God, it feels so much better on my throat, so much talking. I'm pretty sure I came down with like a summer cold or something, because like, I got a clogged nose, my throat's all like scratchy. Feel very congested, you know? That's actually why I was worried about doing the stream. So much talking, but okay. Feeling good, feeling good. Let's get this going. My opinion on OnePlus. When I bought this phone, it was solid, and it has served me very well over the last 4 years. High intensity usage. From what I've heard from friends of mine that have bought more modern OnePlus phones, it's not the same. The reason that this was such a big deal for me, I was able to buy flagship quality for less than half the price, significantly less. Because even before factoring in my discount, And the phone only costs like 800 bucks, Canadian, mind you. At the same time, a brand new Samsung phone was like $1,300. So it was already, what, like 40% cheaper or so than the Samsungs. I was able to get a further 40% discount on that. And I use this phone almost, 4 or 5 hours a day playing mobile games on it. And the only reason I'm getting a new one now is it's finally just kicked the ghost. It's overheating crazily. I wish I had a thermometer to show you this on this game, because some of my other games have it. This one's one of them that unfortunately doesn't. But the phone can push way up to almost 50 plus degrees, and it gets hot enough that just touching it can almost like burn my hand. So only reason I'm getting a new phone. It's been amazing. OnePlus 6 anyways. I don't know much about the newer phones. I've heard they're okay, but the price has gone up. So anyways, enough about phones. Let's take a look at our alternated suits. Now, for anyone that's new to how I do alteration, pretty much, I don't care about the stats. I don't care about really anything except the EX skill or the trait. That's the thing that gets the biggest overhaul. There's been a few very rare cases where the stats are significantly different on an alternated part. For example, the recent GN bayonets completely lost their melee attack when you alternated them. Beforehand, they were a ranged weapon. They had a token amount of melee attack on them, but once alternated, completely lost it. Those are very rare cases, and that's why I don't bother looking at those. Just keep it in mind. When you go to alternate your part, make sure you look at the stat values that it's being turned into to make sure the stats are exactly what you need and that you're not losing something you were expecting. But outside of that, the biggest change does come in the EX skill or trait. Trait's getting a second trait added in, while EX skills get a power boost. So that's why I only look at those. So on that note, let's look at the Gaia. Okay, that's a CIWS. That's not going to get any upgrade. No thank you, goodbye. Torso. Outfighter job. Enemy EX skill penetration reduced. While Transformer EX skill power boosted by 30%. Transformer is becoming a much more common tag. Actually, even as of like beginning of this year, it was a relatively common tag. And now we're getting more parts that have it. Overall, I'd say that there's a good amount of parts that use Transformer as an activator. EX skill power boost, awesome, accessible. I got no complaints. The first trait's a real wash, but the second trait makes up for it. And as this is a part you can easily EX 10, or I guess trait level 10 because it's a welfare, why not? It also uses different materials to alternate these parts versus stuff you'd get from the gacha or build projects. So I hope you have enough crew credits. All right. The Guy Gundam Arms. While Transformer, strong melee crit rate boosted. I've already talked about melee crit rate. Strong melee crit. So strong melee is that last attack in your melee chain where you do the big swing. Or if you're a infighter, or I believe outfighter as well now, when you do a full dash at the enemy and you do an attack, you'll just do your strong melee attack right out of that. That's the only thing that this affects. None of your other melee. So it has very niche use. Yeah. And then a flat melee damage output. That's such a waste. Legs. With speed attribute, 28% chance to not recoil. Okay. With speed attribute, enemy EX skill penetration reduced. Man, this thing's all about just not letting... I'm not even going to finish that joke. I don't want to get demonetized. Yeah, no, these are just not good traits. Backpack. And we got our beam assault cannon. Okay, so we get a B plus power non-cutscene EX skill. This is just going to be a pocket rocket kind of thing. Sure, I'll take it. For a welfare, why not? Alright. Outfighter job gauge increase boosted by 13%. I've already talked about that. With speed attribute, melee crit rate boosted. I've already talked about that. At least this one's a healthy 30% modifier instead of a 17%, but again, you do you. Alright, the high energy beam rifle. With speed attribute, EX skill power boosted. Hey! When armor's 80% or less, flat. Ugh. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, they did that second trait dirty. So dirty. Yeah, I actually saw that. Thanks for the call, Hitoshi. So anyone that doesn't know, an announcement was put out for the game. The game in all regions is being localized to Gundam Breaker Mobile. That is to my understanding, the game's name in Japan. For whatever reason, we got a different titled game. I guess it was to continuity or something, because Gundam Breaker is literally the name of the series in Japan, so they just went Gundam Breaker Mobile. Hey, shit, that makes sense. I don't know why we got this weird long title in comparison, but I guess it's because in localization we don't really have Gundam Breaker as like a entrenched franchise or anything, so we get their games, but I don't know. End of the day, when the 3.0 anniversary drops, we'll probably see the title change and everything. So just keep your eye out for it. It's neat to have it all unified so we don't have to... Oh, wait. I'm not going to have to change all my GBGW channels to GBM. Shit. All right. Well. Yeah, so the gun's a wash. And the shield. Shield throw. B plus power, A Pierce. Nice. Low cooldown, you throw a shield. Look, that's cut and dry. That's cut and dry, guys. It's cut nice. Nice. All right. Yeah, so I'd say the gun unalterated, pretty great. Shield, nice. It's a yeet. Who can say no to another yeet in the arsenal? And the backpack guns are actually really interesting in that it has a relatively strong power, low cooldown. Sure, why not? All right. Next up, Kabakali. Oh, hold on a second. Sinanju. Is the Sinanju and the V2 new as well? Please don't tell me I have to do those as well, guys. Come on, have mercy. Mercy on my soul. Alright, Kabakali Noggin. With technique attribute, enemy shooting power reduced. Again, that only affects this suit, not all of your suits. Middle shooter job, initial EX skill charge boosted. Really easy to find a middle shooter job, and the initial EX skill charge boost. Nice. The first trait's not really that great, but you know what? The second one, why not? If you need a little bit of that extra go-go juice. I wish it was just general cooldown reduction, but God, I'm just reading chat now. I still got most of my fisherman's friends, so I should be fine. Numerically, what are we looking at here? Who cares? We only care about this, that's right. It's okay, the second trait's mediocre. Oh, okay, a little better than mediocre. Photon laser cannon, B plus A. Okay, cool. That's a almost pseudo cutscene with that cooldown. What is with that ridiculous cooldown? Oh, well, it got an upgrade, that's for sure. Interesting. Beam Saber. B plus power. Okay. Last I checked, though, this is not a very good animation-wise combo. With whip category mid-shot attack raised, so that only affects your neutral shots when you're in the mid-range engagement zone. That's your distance from your target. You have close, medium, and long, and your reticle changes based on your distance. This will only affect if you're mid-range to your opponent, not you have a mid-shot tag or mid-range tag, whatever it is, and you don't have, it ignores your word tags and licenses. This is purely on your distance between you and your target. And only for neutrals. With technique attribute, enemy EX skill pen reduced. Meh. I'm not really wowed. Backpack. Beam ring. Throw a disc. Alright, that's another yeet. B minus power. Not the strongest thing in the book, but hey, again, it's another yeet. Alright, time to look at the whip. Outfighter job, strong melee crit rate. With technique attribute, EX skill power boosted. Nice. Second trait's good. First trait's not. Surprise. Okay. And the beam shotgun. Fire scattering beam. Oh, okay, so we have a B-Power 9-shot magazine. That's actually pretty cool. Huh. First shot weapon with Mag EX skills. I think in terms of chronological, when this original part was released, yes, but in terms of currently in the game, no. We do have other ranged weapons that have magazine EX skills, but chronologically, the base part was first. I think so anyways. Oh, Twitter video up. Good, thank you, God of Rage. It's a solid magazine skill from the welfare pool. It's pretty much what that boils down to. Now, before we continue, let's go look at the Toads Ritter on Twitter, because otherwise I will forget. We all know exactly how good I am at remembering things. Alright, let's rerun that a little bit. I don't want no audio. Go away. Go away. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, it's Vulcan. Who cares? What's the good stuff? Alright, backpack. The incoms. Oh yeah, they're still buggy as all hell. Even in this to show, look how strong they are. God, they're useless. The Awakening. Hades. The Shield. Yeah, I know, that's such a long animation. No. The arms are a write-off. It's a shame that all the range skills are D-Power, because that thing has some serious potential, you know? What can you do? What can you do? No, I know that the incoms are attached by wires. It's not a visual bug. I mean the way the wires are positioned. They go straight and then immediately do like a turn like this. I don't know if you know how like wires... No, sorry for hitting the mic. I don't know if you know how wires typically work, but like they don't turn like 90-degree angles unless they're wrapped around something. They should be like smooth flowing kind of deal. But hey, what do I know, right? Yeah, no, the Toads Ritter has no cutscene. Not terribly surprising because it's a standard suit, not a limited or anything. Another thing to keep in mind as well, it is numerically amazing. It's just got no real good EX skills to call on in terms of power and whatnot. So, incoms do because you see magic. I put on my robe, my wizard hat, and my cables do 90-degree turns for no reason. Ridiculous. What button did I even just hit? Did I accidentally hit home or something? I did. I did. Alright, what about the Celsum? Is the Celsum video up? Because I didn't see no Celsum video. Yeah, I don't see no Celsum video here, Mana. You're hallucinating, dude. And actually, yeah, you're right. Oh no, there's the Celsum. It's right there. So we'll look at the Arch, then the Celsum, and then the other two. Oh, sorry, Snow. Dude, like I said, I'm tired. Don't worry about it. Alright. When armor is 50% or less, recover 10 armor gradually. It's a write-off. Infighter job, EX skill piercing. I'm not the biggest fan of EX skill piercing. The entire point of it is how much of your enemy's defense and resistance it ignores. There's very few situations where that's actually going to be a concern if your offensive value is high enough, unless the enemy is specifically built to negate. Do remember that things that reduce your damage by whatever percent, so EX reduced by whatever percent, this will obviously do nothing because your damage is just reduced. So, it's okay. By that I mean it's not really okay. Infighter job enemy. Enemy EX skill pen reduced. When armor's 80% or less, melee power boosted. So this is an enmity skill where you need to take damage for this to actually take effect, which means it does limited the use a little bit. You're not able to use it right off the bat in most content unless you can overcost and potentially run with less than 80% right out of the gate. Or you have to take damage, which can reduce your score in a lot of modes. So, no. Arms. With power attribute, enemy melee power reduced by 25%. When 2 enemies shot down, reduce cooldown by 50% once. So inherently this isn't bad, it's really limited on where you can use it. You need at least 3 enemies, obviously, so that knocks out 1v1 arena. That knocks out a good amount of the multi-missions, all sorts of content, but you can still use it on like battle circuits, most story and free missions, so maybe you can make it, make worth of it. Legs. Jian Fang. So, this is a melee funnel skill. I'm not going to get into the whole funnel talk now because there's no beam funnels for me to rail on. Melee funnels, mucho good. Even better when it's A plus Pierce, B plus Power, and it has a bunch of bits that actually come out. So, I have no complaints. This is a solid alteration right here. It gives you options. While close combat, melee power boosts by 25%. Easy to activate close combat. Melee boost, hey, who doesn't like that? Infighter job, flat damage boost, right off. No one likes that. Jian Buster Sword, 21% chance of attacks penetrating super armor. Well, so that's pretty much how big a chance you have of making your enemy stumble. Stagger? Whatever. Maybe useful in content where you're fighting big enemies or things that don't really like to flinch. And while power attribute, melee power boosted. Okay, well, it's alright. The alteration skill that it adds on is pretty good, but yeah, the Buster Sword weapon type itself isn't that great, but again, that's what custom skins are for. Jian Buster Sword Rifle Mode, job gauge increase boosted. I already talked about that. Enemy shooting power reduced. I already talked about those as well. Not that great. Shield. GN Field. Speed up, shot defense up. I'm not really feeling that one, Mr. Krabs. Not really feeling it. Okay. So we have the Seltsum, the V2, and the Sinanju. So we'll do the Seltsum first. While high firepower, no thanks, we already looked at that. While one enemy shot down, EX skill power boosted. So again, this does limit the amount of content you can actually use this in. You're not going to be able to use it in 1v1 arenas. You're not going to be able to use it on multi-missions where there's only one enemy, so on and so forth. But outside of that, yeah, sure, EX skill power boost is always nice. The regeneration is completely worthless, though. Torso. So you get a melee power boost with technique, which is great, and infighter job melee power boost further. So an infighter on a technique machine, you get a big fat 65% boost. Ain't delivery, it's OP. Alright. Seltsum Arms. Yep, S power, 39% melee attack boost. That's now the 4th highest available in the game, and shot defense boost. Okay. It's okay. Yep. Just another S rank arm, dime a dozen, really. I wouldn't say this is pretty bad for a build suit. I'd say it's mediocre for a build suit, right? Infighter job, EX skill power boosted by 30%, and while high firepower, EX skill boosted further. Look at that, 65% for infighter and high firepower. Opa! Backpack, shield binder. Alright, B plus power. Okay. I just don't know what to say about the cooldown, really. Like, it's an EX skill, but I'm just not sure how to feel with that cooldown. And the Hyper Dust Lance, Beam Vulcan, B plus, B minus. Okay, acceptable, for sure. Do keep in mind, depending on the type of Vulcan it is, if it's one that's like sprays out and around, it's going to be completely worthless. But if it acts more like a machine cannon where it fires them in a straight line volleyed, okay, it does still boil. How far can it go? But should be okay. Should be. Make sure you know what it does before you go for a build project part. Only so much I can do without a video to look at. Arm parts, EX skill power boosted, and with technique attribute shooting power boosted. Wow, that really feeds into what I was talking before about arms with magazines. When are we going to get a Yeet Shield magazine? That's a terrifying concept. So yeah, the Seltsum is kind of an underwhelming build project. It's not bad, it's not great. Aesthetically, it's interesting. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool. Like, think about it, right? Think about it this way. You're playing with a shield that's on like a rotating thing, and you can just kind of fire off shields. You know, think like the Yu-Gi-Oh card deck thing where it had like the sliding out, except instead of sliding out, it just flings shields. You know, like a crossbow almost. That'd be hilarious. Terrifying, but hilarious. Ground Cell gets a 77% melee buff at max with zero system. Yeah, like, you gotta remember, there are a lot of build project suits in this game right now. More than just the Seltsum and the Ground Cell guys. The Ground Cell was not the first friggin' build project suit. There were like 6, 7, 8, 9 before that. Okay? The Seltsum is not the worst. It's just not the best. Also, they should totally set it so that the Yeet Shield alteration gives it S power. You didn't hear it from me. Alright. When shot attack is over 7,000, EX skill power boosted by 30%. Sure, easy to get over 7k shot attack, and recover 200 armor gradually. Goodbye! While high firepower shooting power boosted, back parts EX skill power boosted. Oh, no complaints about this one, Chief. As long as you have a back part with an EX skill to exploit, sure, why the heck not? Spinning Saber, B plus A. Alright, you know, it's a melee EX skill. Really depends on the animation, which I can't remember because this came out how long ago? VSBR and micro missiles, A minus power. Alright, cool. It has power, low cooldown. Sure, hey, I'd buy that for $1. Backpack. Assault and Buster. Man, that just sounds like a crime. Raise shot attack of your squad by 49%. That is the third highest buff in the game and the most common in the high-end spec pool. So that's pretty good. A plus Pierce, A power, cutscene. Sure, why not? Mega Beam Rifle. When buffed, EX skill power boosts by 17%. Really easy to get buffs. Talked about that before. While high mobility, EX skill... Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do that. EX skill... Okay. While high mobility, EX skill crit rate boost. Okay, so this is one of those scenarios where I'm going to go and say this is the exception to my anti-crit rate thing. When your EX skills can crit, they do stupid damage. Because they already did stupid damage, but now they can crit. Even stupider damage. And especially this comes 40% out of the box. You're almost halfway there. Yeah. And let's look at the other rifle. Okay. With power attribute, initial EX skill charge boosted by 20% and shooting power boosted with power. Both of them have the power prerequisite. Awesome. I like that. That's really nice symbiosis going on there. And the Mega Beam Shield. With power attribute, enemy shooting power... with power attribute, buff the EX skill effect up. From what people tell me, this is a flat addition. So it's if you have a 49% boost, this makes it 79%, which I think is absolutely friggin' ridiculous, but apparently that's how it works. So, second trait, good. First trait, not so much. Okay, well, the V2 saw some interesting improvements. Nothing like jaw draw... Oh, wait, is this the one that has the... Yeah... Yeah, I don't think I have that one, do I? No. No, but I do have this. Wait, do I not? No. I thought this is the original Sinanju. Yeah, never mind. Don't mind me. I have the Sinanju Stein. I was connecting the two of them together like the big brain I am. Anyways, Sinanju. While commander, enemy shooting power reduced. Already talked about that. Outfighter job, EX skill power boosted. Alright, well, we have lots of good outfighter job licenses there. EX skill power boost, always nice. Okay. Torso. Hull unit. Fire the Myriad Mega Particle Cannon gun ports. Raise shot attack by 39%, B power. I'm not really sure how to feel about the timer again on this, much like the other one. B power, okay. The buff is nice though, 39% on a casual. Sure. All right, arms. Beam Tonfa. A- power. Non-cutscene. No thanks. I'm not gonna... That just sounds like a risky venture. Legs. Meteorite kick. Melee attack boost by 24%, which is token. Speed by 20%. Okay, that's pretty standard, I guess, when we see speed boost. A- power. Low cooldown, no cutscene. This is one of those skills that, to my understanding, is really easy to miss. Mileage may vary. Legs are a mini cutscene. Okay. But it's still relatively easy to whiff it, isn't it? Like, I'm pretty sure that's one of those things that you can just straight miss almost all the time, which is a shame. Outfighter job, melee power boosts by 30%. One of the other parts also benefits from Outfighter, so that's a double whammy. When one enemy shot down, melee power boosted. I've already talked about how I feel about that trigger. If you can get it to activate, cool, no problems. Okay, B-Max, Piercing Axe, B+, B+. Balance in all things, I see. Unfortunately, this is one of those things that locks you into a animation. No thank you. Beam Naginata. While close combat, EX skill power boost by 30%. Okay, cool. And torso parts EX skill power boost by 35%. Lots of good torso EX skills available in the game, and close combat, very easy to activate. Sure, why not? Lots of EX skill power boosts to be harvested. Magazine, B+ 11 shots. Yeah, no complaints. Magazines have more or less universally been good when they're B power or higher. And Beam Axe, A-. So this is another one of those, depends on the animations, but to my remembrance, it's not really that great. Okay. So overall, so the welfare suit is very interesting. It has a decent amount of melee attack. Interesting EX, some nice traits. Tags are interesting. Gacha, the Toad's Ritter, is just a treasure trove of shot attack, but it has no way to use it because all of its friggin' skills are D power. Ridiculous. The pilots are effectively a wash. And there's a few really good parts in the alteration pool this time around. So yeah, it was okay. For a standard, it's pretty okay. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now. Next week should be a little more eventful because, one, I should be better by then. I'll be much more able to talk without having to lean on my chair and just in general feel like crap. And we should also have news about 3.0, which I'm looking forward to. There were some really interesting things they talked about before, so I'm looking forward to see how much they flesh out for us. Anyways, if you're not already in my Discord, I highly recommend that you join it. The link should be in the description. I can't remember my live stream descriptions for the life of me. But if anything, let's just keep an eye out for the potential giveaway I'm going to do of those motherboards. Again, I don't know if I'm going to do them yet or not, so don't feel obligated to join because I might not do those giveaways. I'm still chewing on the idea. But yeah, anyways, peace out, guys. And I'll see you next week.